Hello everyone and welcome back to another dark and moody editing video tutorial. As you already know, everyone says there are rules to editing black and white street photography. But today guys, I'm throwing all of those rules out of the window. In this video, I'm breaking every rule. I'm gonna crush the contrast, push tones to the extreme and create a style that's bold, gritty and totally different. So let's dive into the edit and see just how insane black and white editing can really get. This is the image we'll be editing. I'll be using Camera Raw for this edit. You can use Lightroom and any other editing software, as the results will all be the same. We'll be creating a dark and moody tone in this image, but we'll be leaving just a touch of color to give the image a touch of life. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go down to the color and I'll be reducing the temperature to around 5050. Like this, we've created a cooler image, and I'll be reducing the tint down to around 0, around -2 or 3. And I'm going to reduce the vibrance to around -15, something like that. And also the saturation. Don't forget guys, we'll be leaving just a touch of color, and I'll be reducing the saturation to around -22. From here we're going to go over to the color mixer and we're going to start with the hues. Here I'll be increasing the reds, which will be one of the colors we'll be leaving, to around +7, but I'll be reducing the oranges to around -10 or 12. I'm going to reduce all the yellows to -100. Follow me with these steps guys and you'll get the results for all your images. I'm going to increase the greens to around +7. They don't have to be precise. +7, +8, +6. And I'm going to increase the aquas all the way up to 100. But the rest, I'm going to leave them set at 0. We're going to head over to the saturation. And here again, I'll be increasing the reds to around +15, 16. I'll be doing the same for the oranges, around +12 or 13. But all the rest, I'm going to minus them to 100. But for the magenta, I'm just going to go around halfway to around -40, 47. The next step is the luminance. As you can see, the image is losing some of the color, but we're going to correct that in the steps ahead. I'm going to minus the reds to around -18, but I'm going to increase the orange to around +7. Bear with me and you'll see that these colors will pop once the image is ready. I'm going to do +7 for the yellows also, but the rest I'm going to leave them all on 0. Now I'm going to head up to the exposure panel and I'm going to increase the exposure just a touch to around +0.97 or 95, something like that. I'm going to increase the contrast nearly all the way up and dial it down a notch. And the highlights I'm going to increase to around +30s, in the upper 30s, around 36. We're doing the opposite things. That's why I said I'm breaking all the rules, because the highlights, we usually deduct the highlights. We move it in the opposite direction. And the shadows I'm going to increase to around plus 20s to around there. As you can see, we're getting some color in the image. These are the ones we'll be keeping, and we'll soon get some color in these flowers here. I'm gonna decrease the whites to around minus 100 all the way down, but I'm gonna increase the blacks to around plus 60, 67, around that area, or 68. This image was taken in Hungary. We went to this like remote island where there was a castle there, and we spent half the day just searching around and taking some photography shots. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to head down to the effects panel. The texture, I believe in it on 0. But the clarity, I'm going to increase quite a bit to around plus 30, 37 or 38. The haze, I'm going to increase it to around 50s, in the lower 50s. Just keep your eye on the image, guys, and you can see the difference that we're creating. And the image is coming back to life, and we're getting those dark and moody tones. And we can see the color is coming in these plants here, these flowers. But we're not ready yet, and we still got a bit more to do. So from here, I'm going to go down to a very powerful tool, and it's going to be the color grading tool. I'm sure not many people use this color grading. You're missing out on a lot because it's a very effective tool. And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to target the shadows. I'm going to press shadows here, and I'm going to start off by increasing the hue over the 200s to get that bluish effect, that cool effect, to around 221. And here we need to increase the saturation, which will be around plus 12. I'm going to leave the luminance how they are, but I'm just going to try and see what happens if I move the slider up or down. For now, I'm going to leave it on 0. And we're ready from the shadows, and now we're going to head over to the highlights. Oh, one more thing, I just need to increase the blending. The blending is going to smooth these colors out even more, and I'm going to increase it all the way to 100. And now I'm going to head over to the highlights, and here I'm going to do the same. I'm going to increase the hues to over 200. Just a touch like that to around 208, and we'll see we're getting a really nice dark moody image here. I'm going to increase the saturation to around plus 10 or 11, and I'm going to leave the blending how it is. It's on around 100, and leave the balance also. So now we're ready from the global editing, everybody, and we're going to start off with the masking. I'm just going to reduce the image size just a bit to around there, and I'm going to start off by using the landscape tool. I use this tool for all of my dark and moody images, editing images, and you'll see you get an amazing effect because we'll be using each and every one of these landscape tools. I'm going to click landscape. So here we have the tool opened up, and we're going to start off from the top and work our way down through these 4 masks here. And we're going to start off with the sky, then we have the architecture, we have the vegetation. Here we'll be increasing just a bit more touch of color, and we'll be targeting the artificial ground. So we're going to start off with the sky. I'm going to press create. I'm going to reduce the exposure for the sky. That should be okay. That's all I'm going to do for the sky is reduce the exposure. I'm going to press create mask again, and I'm going to select landscape once again. And we're going to use the architect texture mask. I always mix that word up. And press create. And here I'm going to increase a bit of shadows to around there. I'm going to go down and increase the texture to around 15 and a touch of clarity. And here I'm going to go back to create a new mask and select landscape once again. And we're going to target the vegetation now. I'm going to press create. And here I'm going to increase just a touch of shadows. And I'm going to increase just the exposure, just a couple of notches like that. And I'm going to go down to the color and increase the saturation to give those flowers and the bush a touch of color. That's a bit too much. Just go down a bit more. I found if you move the slider up and down, you can target to about where you want it. And I want it somewhere around here. And that should be okay. I'm going to increase just a touch of texture. And now I'm going to head back to the create new mask, select landscape, and use the last one, which is artificial ground. And I'm going to press create again. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the exposure slider and decrease it just a touch like that. So now we're ready from these landscape mask. Now I'm going to create a new mask and I'm going to choose linear gradient. And I'm going to cover the top part of the sky. I'm going to go down quite a bit. But here I'm going to have to intersect the mask because we're touching the top of this church here, I think it is. And we just press these three dots and intersect mask and select sky. And here I'm going to reduce the exposure. I'm going to pull the mask down a bit more to around there. And here I'm going to go back to create mask. And I'm going to use the linear gradient, but now for the foreground. And I'm going to increase it all the way up to these flowers here. And I'm going to reduce the exposure. To around there. The next thing I'm going to use, next mask I'm going to use, guys, I'm going to use a radial gradient. And I'm going to place it just around the church area like this. I'm going to open it up a bit more. And here I'm going to increase a touch of exposure to around there and increase the shadows just a touch. That should be okay. I'm going to use another radial gradient and I'm going to place it over these paved pathway or street, whatever it's called. And I'm going to open it a bit more. And I'm going to turn it just a touch like this. and I'm going to increase the exposure. Make sure your feathering is all the way up to 100, and I'm going to increase the exposure to around there. Should be okay. I'm going to use another radial gradient, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to click in the middle of this first radial gradient, right click and duplicate mask 4. We drag the duplicated mask onto the left side, or where you want the radial gradient to be, and I'm going to place it here. I'm going to close it a bit and move it to around there. Should be okay. I'm gonna use one more radial gradient, guys. We're soon ready, and I'm gonna create a vignette for the whole image. Gonna open it up a bit more. Don't forget to invert the vignette, and you reduce the exposure here. I'm going to increase just a touch of shadows, and that should be about right. I'm going to head out of the masking, everyone. I'm going to reduce the image size. And if you need, you can go back to your masks here, and you can go over every single one and make any adjustments that you need. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to target this one here, and I'm going to reduce just the exposure just a touch to around there, and that should be okay. So there we have it, guys. We have our dark and moody street photography. Well, you can call it street photography. We have people in it. I don't know if you can see it. There's a person sitting down on this statue's lap here, and we have another person here. I'm going to zoom in, who's taking a photo here, and this is the guy, the lady or guy that's sitting on the lap. So there we have our image ready. I hope you like it, guys. You can use this for any of your street photography, dark and moody images with a touch of color. Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you in another video. Please hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, and leave any comments below. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.